Hello. Sometimes we need to do just a very quick little doodle, perhaps for a card for somebody, or just because we are very short of time. And in this week's Doodle Club, we're going to do something very quick, mainly because I'm actually not feeling great. I've gone down with a bit of a bug and I'm feeling a little bit achy. And so, oh dear, not quite sure what was going on there. Yes, so feeling a little bit under the weather, I think. So I've got a nice cup of tea. So we're just going to do a short doodle instruction, and I hope you can join in. I hope you enjoy it. Welcome if you are new. My name is Kate Field. I'm an artist, teacher and speaker, and feeling a bit tired today. And welcome back, you lovely, lovely ones who have been with me for a long time and who are amazingly supportive. Anyway, enough of me rambling on and putting my hand across the camera and all of that kind of rubbish. Let's get going. So what are we going to use today? I'm going to be using an acrylic pen, pencil, fountain pen, which I absolutely love. And I've got some pastry cutters, some cookie cutters here in the shapes of hearts, because I want to do this really quickly and I'm just using what I have around, and I've got a variety of different papers here, and we're just going to start off by using our cookie cutter. Obviously you can just do this freehand if you want to, but I just, as I say, I think I just want to get this idea down first of all. I'm going to go straight in with a pen actually. So I've got my cookie cutter idea. Oh, this needs a bit of a shake on the pen. There we go. We're just going to go round. You could use a stencil. You could make your own template, or you could just do it freehand. Don't be afraid to use different ideas. I'm going to have these two hearts as if they're kind of dangling down with little kind of like ribbons, I guess, little loops like this. And then I'm just going to do some very quick doodles. Please excuse my kind of croaky voice. I'm sure you will, because you're all so lovely. Let's just think about what we could do on here. And the lovely thing about these sorts of doodles is that you can do all sorts of things and anything goes. You can just sort of let your imagination flow a little bit, and then using these sort of spaces, think about what you could put. So kind of following on from my previous tutorials, and if this is the first tutorial that you've ever watched of me, then again, apologise for the croakiness. For the whole of February 2025, I'm doing a Heartscapes project, and my idea is for many people to join in, to send me their pieces, and you could do that via the Facebook page or via my email. All the details are in the description. And I don't want to do a celebration. Now this is the celebration of love that is kind of community love, family love, rather than romantic love. And this is why I'd like lots of people to enter. So basically you make a response to the idea of a heart in any medium that you like. And again, my last few tutorials have given you some suggestions. And I'm going to make a reel with some original music to go with it, which I will post onto YouTube. But I also want to make a book. And I would love for lots of people to join in, perhaps people who have never considered themselves to be artists, who never thought that their work would be published in a book. Perhaps you're just starting out. Or perhaps you have done a lot of art in the past, but you're coming back to it after bringing up family or looking after parents and all the things that we have to do, and that can stop us from perhaps creating art to a higher level. Please don't think that you have to be brilliant. You absolutely don't. The whole point of this project is that everyone can have a go. And if you'd like to take part, oh my goodness, it would be wonderful to have you. Anyway, all the details are below. And oh, there we go. So I'm just kind of putting in a few little directions of doodles and stuff like that. I'm just playing. I've just moved to my ink pen because I really like it. All the materials that I use I'll put in the description. Just putting in this few little ribbons there. And then what I'm going to do is put a line across here, a few lines here, and then we can write some words. You could perhaps write a poem. This sort of thing is great for art journals, as well as kind of making a personalised card for someone. So I'm going to leave that one. I might put a bit of colour on it, but at the moment I'm just going to zoom through some ideas that you might like to try. And with this one I'm just going to be using a circle as my starting point. Put my circles in. Just using this pastry cutter just to get my different circles on here. And I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to break up the space into hearts, and I'm going to do these, I'm going to do it in a pencil to begin with because I'll show you what I'm going to do. I don't often rub things out, but sometimes when I want to remove a line rather than a mistake, then I will use an eraser. I'm putting freehand hearts over this, and you can see it's kind of breaking up the space. You could obviously use a stencil for this, or your template, or your cookie cutter. Just putting these like this. And then I'm going to decide which hearts I want in the front and which I want in the back, and that's where I might use the rubber to take out some of the lines. Just so it kind of looks very messy at the moment. And if you've watched any of my previous tutorials, you'll know that everything goes through a messy stage, and it's at that messy stage where lots of people give up. And that's when I have to get my students to take their work out of the bin. I have to do that quite a lot, especially with my new students, not with my ones who I've been teaching for ages. So you can see multiple layers of hearts looking very, very messy. Let's just pop that in there. Okay, so what we're going to do next, well, I'm going to start to put in some patterns. I might rub out some lines, I might not. I'm going to take some of these and then just add some doodles. Yeah, if you like doing things like Zentangles, you could do that. I like doing some Zentangles, but the rules get in the way for me. I'm not very good with rules. There we go. You just sort of put in your own thoughts. When you have a kind of like a repeating pattern, it can be really effective. Again, I'm just using my fountain pen. And the ink looks black, but it's actually a very, very dark purple. And it's soluble in water. So I might just do a bit of blob of water on it, and I'll show you what that might look like. Let's just do some more patterns. And you know, the nice thing about this kind of idea is that there is no right or wrong. You can just sort of build up patterns. You can doodle while you're doing something else. You know, you can just, it's a very good way to relax. You say, I'm just sort of building up some of these. Now where, oh, did I put that? I'm just going to take out that line there. Just a little bit. It will become part of the design, but and you won't really see it. But yeah, all sorts of lines. Again, different types of marks to create your different patterns. You sort of build up an idea. See that line from that heart? I'm just going to turn that into a pattern. Which is quite fun. And I'm going to do this with my pen for most of these, but I want to kind of highlight a couple of the circles with a colouring pencil. I'm thinking that could be fun. So I'll show you how to do that, or how I do it, and you can do it however you want. Again, my tutorial is about you, helping you to develop your own style, your own creative journey. That is really important to me. I'm just giving you ideas. Just fill those in. I'll do a little bit more on those. I won't finish this, but it would just give you an idea. So I've started to put in some colour. I'm just using colouring pencils. These are Faber-Castell, they're my favourite, but you use whatever you have. And I'm going into the negative space. This is a technique that I use a lot. And obviously the negative space of the hearts in this bit here is the circle. So I'm just shading in the circle. I'm just doing this very, very quickly so you can get the idea. Crossed over here with the yellow. When you're thinking about your colours, think about whether they're warm colours or cool colours. And you might want to limit your colour palette, because that can be really quite effective. Sometimes if we use every single colour all at once, it can be a little bit overpowering, but sometimes it can be great. You just try things out and see whether you like them or not. Just going to add a little bit of it. So I'm just sticking to warm colours, and in this circle again I'm just putting in the colour really roughly to begin with, because I do want this to be quite quick. Let's just go all the way around for that for the minute. And then what you can do is to go in, press quite hard. Let's just go around that part, I think. Yeah, and you can obviously then do the rest of it and do some more. I am going to stick to these colours. So I think that they work well. And then what I'm going to do is to cut this out. And this is where, like, if you're making a card, it could be great fun. So this is just a bit of paper that I've folded in half. If you've got cardstock, you could use that. So I want my design to be smaller than this. I'm going to turn this over because I don't want to be distracted by this. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to measure, oh, where's my ruler gone, where I want this. So it's going to be about 7 centimetres by maybe 10, 7 by 10. And I'm just going to mark this up. I know I don't need to go right to the edges. And actually, if I look at the whole thing, I'd be able to get a few actually. Let's just go right across there. I'm going to take that top bit off. Take it down the middle. And then we want 10, which is going to be about halfway. Let's see what we get. Like that. Now I'm just going to tear it. I'm just going to tear it in half, actually, so I can always trim things up afterwards. Like that. Just use my ruler. I might trim those bits, and then I'm just going to turn these over. So I've got 4 separate pieces now. Obviously there's more in that bit than the other bit, but it completely breaks up your design and it can give you some really interesting ideas. Let's just pick up on this one. Let's move these ones over here. Let's get my pen again. We're just going to use this little one here, and we can write some words. In here. Yeah, just sort of having a bit of fun with it, really. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that bit. Let's do that. There we go. So I love reading your comments. Thank you so much, everybody who kind of joins in with the conversations. I read every single comment. Yeah, I really am so appreciative of those of you who've been following me for ages, who keep coming back. Thank you. There we go. Let's just do some wiggly lines here. Let's see, we've just got this idea here. I'm going to leave that one. This one is nearly done, actually. There's not much more I can do with that one, apart from sort of a few more shady bits. Let's have a look at this one. And let's put in some spirals. And obviously you could cut these up further and you could make them into elements for your art journal. You could leave some space for some words. So I'm going to leave the space there. And you can just have a play. Have some fun with it, really. I don't take my work that seriously. You've probably worked that out. And those of you who've been with me for a while. Kind of seriously enough, but not too serious. But having said that, on a more serious note, art and the practicing of art and crafts can be hugely beneficial to our well-being. And that, I think, is important. And so for me, not feeling brilliant at the moment, I know that I can just doodle like this and it will make me feel better. And after I've done these, I'm going to curl up in my chair, probably with Amber. She tends to come and find me, and which is lovely. And perhaps I'll do some crochet. So something like that, something nice. I'm going to put some words there, but at the moment I'm not sure what words I'm going to do. let's do this one. Again, I've got that circle coming there, which is nice. And I love the idea that we can just have ideas, try things out, perhaps do something a little bit unexpected. And you can get lots of ideas when we just allow ourselves to doodle and play. So were you one of those children who used to just doodle in your notebook at school? Because I absolutely was. And my mum found some of my old school books a while ago, and it was quite funny looking at them because there were so many doodles in the margins. But even as an adult, so when I was a school teacher for a very long time and used to have to go to some quite boring meetings sometimes, and my notes for the meetings often had little doodles in them. Some of them were quite cheeky. There we go. Again, just playing with an idea. I am going to write something here, perhaps a little haiku. I might do that in just a moment. And I'm going to come back to this one and show you how I finish everything off. I've sort of added a few more bits to these. I might do a little more on those. But the whole point of having something like this is that you can make it into a card. So I could just like stick it on the front of some cardstock like this, or I could put it in a journal, or I could have it as a tag, something like that, which would be really nice. So really very, very quick and easy to do. Let me just come back to this one. And so these hearts are done with the acrylic pen. So they are colour fast. And I just wanted to show you something that you could do with some watercolour paint. Just sort of happen to have here, because my studio is a mess at the moment, because well, it just is. I have no excuse. I just haven't tidied it up. I'm going to stick to my warm colours because the acrylic paint the acrylic pen is colour fast. It won't bleed, and I'm just going to put a little bit of colour around. Now that you see what happens there? That isn't colour fast because that's my ink pen. I'm just going to pop that in there. I'm just going to show you what I do with that because that's a mistake, and mistakes happen. They just do. This one is colour fast. Let's just pop that in there like that. Right there. That's fine. I'm going to leave that to dry and then I'll show you what I do with that, because it's all gone a little bit messy, but that's okay. It's okay. Let's do that. Put that there. So if your pen is colour fast, water fast I mean, then you can just go over the top of it. But actually, you know, this kind of effect can be used very beautifully if you want this kind of smudgy effect, and that could be fun. So I wrote these words with my pen, so I know that the ink is going to run. Let's just do that. It kind of just gives a different sort of effect, really. But that was a mistake. I had forgotten that I hadn't done that heart there. But, you know, we are human. And there's a smudgy effect, I think, can look really good. It could be used very creatively. And nobody needs to know that it was a mistake, do they? I will leave that one to dry and I'll show you what I do at the end. Just putting in colours very quickly. Like that. I've been playing around with these a little bit more. Put that onto a black background, and that's my little card there. And you can always do more on top of it if you want to. This one in my sketchbook. So this is just sort of following on from my previous experiments with hearts. Pop them on there. I'm going to do some writing, maybe a few poems and haikus. But let's get back to this one where I made the mistake there. Right, I'm going to go in with my acrylic pen and I'm just going to go over the top of what I did before, where the ink ran, like this. Just go over the top of it like that. And then I'm going to use my white acrylic pen. This is absolutely my favourite white acrylic pen. They don't they don't sponsor me, sadly, on this, because I go on about this pen a lot. It is absolutely the best white acrylic pen, and it's about £5. I'll put the link in the description if you want to try it out for yourself. But it is very, very good. And so I'm just going to put sort of some little white dots over this little messy bit to see if that will work. And then what I thought I would do with this whole piece, let's just pop that back there, is to cut them out and use them as tags. So I'm just going to go like this. So I think that when we start sort of playing around with an idea, we don't get precious about it. Well, I certainly don't get precious about it. And I actually quite like that bit. I might cut that bit out as well. Do something with that one. Same with this one. Let's just take that bit off. So don't be afraid of changing your mind. Changing our minds is part of the creative process. It's absolutely fine to start off thinking you're going to be doing one thing and end up doing something else. Absolutely fine. I've got some little tags here. Now there's various things I could do with these. I might kind of like punch some holes in them, attach them to ribbons or whatever. But I quite like those, and I know that I will use those for something else. Let's just put those there, and that little card there. Well, I do hope you enjoyed that, and Amber's come to join me. Why is it that our pets know when we're not feeling great? And if you'd like to see some more, you could look at this one and this one, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.